The restaurant was buzzing that evening, laughter mixing with the clinking of glasses and the faint sound of live jazz playing in the corner. Among the diners sat Daniel, a single dad in his early 40s, sharing a quiet meal with his 10-year-old daughter, Emma. For him, nights like these were rare. Money was tight, and dinners out were a luxury, but Emma had just aced her spelling bee, and Daniel wanted to make her feel special. At another table, a well-dressed man with sharp features and an air of authority drew curious glances. It was Robert Hale, a well-known CEO of a major tech company. Most of the diners whispered his name, surprised to see him dining without his usual entourage of bodyguards. But just as the atmosphere seemed perfect, it all changed in a heartbeat. 3 men stormed into the restaurant, their voices rough, their intentions clear. They weren't after wallets or purses. They were after Robert. One grabbed him by the collar, another shoved him against the wall, and the third barked orders, demanding something no one could hear over the chaos. Panic rippled through the diners. Chairs screeched, glasses shattered, people ducked under tables. Daniel's first instinct was to pull Emma close, shielding her. But then, something inside him shifted. He recognized the movements of the attackers, the way they positioned themselves, the way they controlled their target. It wasn't random violence, it was practiced. Daniel's past, the one he had kept hidden from everyone, suddenly rose to the surface. Years ago, before he became just Dad, Daniel had served as a military close combat instructor. He'd left that life behind to raise his daughter, never telling anyone, not even Emma, about the things he'd once done. But tonight, he had no choice. "Stay under the table, no matter what happens," he whispered to Emma, his eyes steady. She nodded, clutching her stuffed bunny with trembling hands. Daniel stood slowly, moving toward the chaos while others scrambled away. One of the attackers noticed him. "Sit down!" the man snarled. But Daniel didn't. With a sudden, fluid motion, he disarmed the nearest attacker, twisting his wrists until the weapon clattered to the floor. The room gasped. The second man lunged, but Daniel's reflexes were sharper, faster. A calculated strike sent him staggering backward into a table. The third, realizing their plan was unraveling, tried to grab Robert and make a run for it, but Daniel intercepted, pulling Robert safely behind him. Within moments, the danger was neutralized. The 3 men lay subdued, groaning on the floor as the restaurant staff called the police. People peeked out from behind chairs, stunned by what they'd just witnessed. The quiet single dad, the man no one had noticed before, had saved the night with skills none could have imagined. Robert, catching his breath, stared at Daniel in disbelief. "Who are you?" he asked. Daniel just shook his head. "Just a father," he replied, glancing toward Emma, who was peeking out from under the table, eyes wide with pride and relief. The restaurant slowly returned to calm, but something unspoken had shifted. In that moment, Daniel wasn't just a man trying to make ends meet or a dad celebrating his daughter's small victory. He was a reminder that true strength often hides in the most ordinary people, waiting for the right moment to step forward.